Yo, what's cracking? 200 on press, Dave. 200 on press. I
200.
like
That's what
that.
I like to see, sir.
200 on press. They ready. They ready. Love that. Love that. Big energy. Big energy today. Dave, it's officially the off season, fam. Officially the off season. Super Bowl's over. Great Super Bowl. Great game. But other than the game, before we get into all the fire, all the content, it's a lot to talk about today. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. It's a whole lot of junk to talk about. But before we get into that, Dave, of course, we gotta get through the particulars. How was your weekend, Dave? And Monday.
Pretty good weekend. Oh, pretty good weekend, man. I can't complain too much about the weekend at all. Super Bowl weekend. I finished up Snowfall so I can prep. I was nervous that I wasn't gonna be able to finish it in time because I wanted to do a rap album for my show on Thursday, and I finished it up. So I can do the show now. So I'm looking forward to doing this album breakdown on Thursday night. So it's gonna be a fun time. But overall, pretty good weekend. Can't complain too much, man. Can't complain too much at all.
Good
What
weekend
you?
over here. Didn't do nothing. It's always great when you don't do anything on the weekend. So I was chilling. Didn't do much. Watched the game, of course. Now, Dave, I got a question for you. How you want to handle
Mm-hmm.
this conversation today? Do you want to talk? Do we want to talk about the Super Bowl and talk about the game, or do we want to hold that off until later? How do you want to go through this?
No,
Because I think we
let's
gotta
go and get the
address.
game.
Okay,
We
okay.
gotta talk about the
Dave said,
game.
"Let's go and
We gotta
talk.
talk about the game.
Let's go and talk about the game. Let's go and talk about the game." All right. So, Dave, what was your thoughts? I thought it was a great game. What was your
Oh
thoughts
yeah.
on the game? What was your takeaways?
I thought the game was really good, right? Like I was thoroughly like the game was better than I thought it was going to be. I picked the Eagles to win, so obviously I was wrong with regards to that. But I thought the game was really good. I thought Jalen Hurts played his heart out, bro. Like I think anybody that doubted that he could play quarterback in this league, because I think there was still a lot of folks that still felt like he couldn't. That's just over. Like you can no longer have that discussion about Jalen Hurts. He's a quarterback in this league. We should no longer have these discussions with regards to Jalen Hurts. So for me, I think all the doubters, that's over. Mahomes is Jordan. Simple as that. He's Jordan. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's Jordan.
That dude.
Like we're out here having all these discussions. The man's Jordan, and that's fine. He could be Jordan. And yeah, he lost the Super Bowl, but nah, he's Jordan, bro. That man lost his best wide receiver, and he won it against pretty much the best defense in the NFL. Because the Eagles had the best defensive line in the league. They led the NFL in sacks. That man didn't get sacked once, and that's kudos to that offensive line.
I thought defense wins championships though.
It does. It does. It absolutely does. But sometimes, when you have Jordan, that shit don't matter.
Fair enough.
Mahomes is Jordan, bro. Like let's not like Mahomes lost Tyreek Hill and his and the Chiefs defense did show up. And I gotta give kudos to Eric Bieniemy because they scored in every drive in the second half. Like I don't think that's talked about enough. They scored on every single drive in the second half. And that punt return was vital. So shout out to the special teams. And the defense of the Chiefs did just enough. Because Jalen Hurts was balling too. Like, they were in it. And the defense scored a touchdown, which ended up being the factor. I think everybody's talking about the hold. But guys, the defense scored a TD. So that you gotta keep it a buck, Chiefs pulled it out.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a hell of a game. It was just amazing to watch the offenses go to work, bro. Both offenses were great. Both quarterbacks were great. And I just love that the clock management that was on display
My
from the Chiefs
God.
at the end of that game, bro. The balls, for them to to not score there and take the knees and put it on the kicker, bro. I was like, there's no way. I was live tweeting. I was like,
Fam, but
there's
dog,
no way I would
I
have did
was
that.
no, I said no because I was watching it. Because if you go back and look, The Eagles was about to let him go in.
They were letting him go. Yeah.
They were smart enough. My man was smart enough to know, oh no, we about to slide this one. And shout out to 7th round pick Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
7th round pick Isaiah Pacheco. What round did I say he was? 7th round pick Isaiah Pacheco. And Jerick McKinnon. The high round pick, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he was inactive. And Melvin Gordon, who they picked up from Denver, he was on the practice squad. He didn't play. You know, they both get rings. But you know, rings. So shout out to them. But I wanted to say that to let you know about like the running back position. Interchangeable.
And it's a good point in that offense too. But it's a good point to bring up because you know as good as Mahomes was, he definitely had Pacheco in that run game to lean on. People forget about that run game and the schemes, the way that the Andy Reid and Bieniemy was calling those run plays, bro. Pacheco he balled out, and just people forget you still need to have that run game, no matter how good your quarterback is, bro. Fam, that run game matters. It matters, bro. You got to be able to run the football, so that's important. Another thing I want to point out: the offensive aggression. I love the offensive aggression from the Eagles, going forward on fourth and one multiple times with the QB sneaks. But it's just obvious. It's just obvious. Like stuff like that, it's just obvious. Because you know what? I've seen a guy 4th and 1, punt the ball. I like the offensive aggression that was shown here by the offense, the Eagles offense. Also,
the Eagles,
again,
that's what the Eagles do. Like the Eagles, when they're in a certain and the thing is, when they're gonna go for 4th down based on what they do on 3rd down. Like what it's gonna be. Like
Facts.
What it's gonna be. Because that's what they do, and they've done that all season. So they don't change who they are when it comes to that.
But I'm saying,
doesn't care.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though, you got to have that aggression, and like that's why their offense was so good. You're able to control the football by extending those drives, going for it on 4th and 1, bro. Their QB sneak was unstoppable. They didn't stop them. The QB sneak one time. They didn't stop it one time. It was unstoppable. And credit to the offensive line. Credit to the guys that are in front of Hurts and Hurts himself for being as big as he is, able to push that pile. I mean, it's just unstoppable, bro. But it also goes to show that on both sides, you can see the game. Look at these mobile quarterbacks. Again, we not asking. We don't need you to be a Hurts being able to run the football all over the place. We're not asking you to do that. But Mahomes, he ain't no run first quarterback, but he's able to move when he needs to, bro. He still had he had a couple good rushing plays. You got to have a mobile quarterback to be able to at least move when danger. Because credit to the offensive line. Offensive line was great, but Mahomes is also able to move when he needs to. So shout out to those mobile quarterbacks. Because again, you got to watch that. Dave, also want to point out the tight end play, bro. The tight end play, both sides. Goddard. Balling, bro. I know Kelsey had a game, but Goddard also balled, bro. Goddard also was a baller, bro. He had 2 elite catches in that game. The double catch that I thought was incomplete, caught it. And he had another good one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he had 2 good catches. Bro, the tight end play was amazing. Something we don't have here in Carolina. Y'all keep talking about potential and Tremble and whatnot, but we ain't got it. I ain't seen it.
Nah.
And then again, credit to both offensive lines. I see y'all saying the offensive line. Yes, offensive lines definitely. Both of these teams' offensive lines are great, bro. Both offensive lines carrying the ball throughout the entire season. According to PFF, the Eagles had the number 1 ranked offensive line. All right, the Chiefs had the number 4 ranked offensive line. Offensive line matters. This is why I've been saying it for the longest. The Chiefs lost the Super Bowl because they didn't have an offensive line a couple years ago. They came back.
No, boom. They lost. No. They lost the Super Bowl because they had Mike Remmers at the left tackle.
I just said they didn't have an offensive line.
I'm just joking.
That's what I said.
I'm kidding. I just wanted to name Mike Remmers again because I think, I remember picking the Chiefs to win that game because of my hatred for the Bucs. Then I saw their starting lineup and I knew that I was going to lose that one too. But
yeah, both offensive lines. I mean, neither defense. I mean, they had 1 sack. I think the Chiefs or Eagles had 1 sack, and that was because the quarterback ran out of bounds and was touched behind the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that was the only
that was
sack that was registered,
really
bro.
sack.
The guys were able to move again, even when they were pressured. They were able to move out the pocket and avoid it. Both offensive line, both quarterbacks, great, and credit to both offensive coordinators and whoever's calling the plays, bro. They was out there playing chess. Loved it. I tweeted this during the game. I was like, yo, I don't even feel worthy watching this as a Panthers fan. Like, I don't even feel right watching this, bro. That's how good both teams were offensively. It was great. Offensive display. No average QBs. Not an average QB on that field. Just like we said, Jalen Hurts, bro, he took that next step, bro. He took that next step this year. He's putting himself in some good company, bro. He's going to be a very good player. And credit to what Dave was saying earlier. And Mahomes, that's him. That's him. You know, that's him.
Dog, he's Jordan.
So
he's Jordan.
Yeah, that's him. He's him. Himothy.
He's Jordan, bro.
He's Himothy.
Dog.
Yeah.
But
yeah, man.
Like
so,
we were like, there was a debate yesterday about whether or not Mahomes is already an NFL Hall of Famer, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and I'm like,
bro, you seen his resume? Yeah, he definitely is, bro. He could stop playing right now. He's in the Hall of Fame, bro, easily.
And for those who don't get where I'm at, I'm gonna put it in perspective for you. Tom Brady didn't become an All-Pro till he was 30. Mahomes has already done it 3 times. First team. He's 27. He has 2 MVPs. He's 27. 27. Yeah.
He's him, yo. He's him.
Dog.
Himothy.
Dog. He's there.
He's him, yo. That's him, yo. He's
him. There,
shout out to Mahomes, man.
Mahomes.
Shout out to Mahomes, bro. But yeah, man. Shout out to Mahomes, bro. On a bum ankle too. Had his flu game, Dave.
High ankle sprain.
He had his flu game.
That was his flu game.
He had his flu game.
And he actually had an injury because it really wasn't flu for Jordan. It was food poisoning.
True.
It was food. It was flu. It was food poisoning because happened was.
No, I'm just saying. I know. Yeah, you're right. No, I know. I've seen it. I've seen it all.
People call it the flu game, but it was food poisoning. Jordan was hungry. They wanted a pizza. They knew what it was going to be. There was an away game. They spiked his food. My man got sick, and he showed up and showed out. But he was still sick. But,
Yeah, Mahomes is him. Yo, I don't know what y'all talking about in the chat. Bro. You legit can't push back on saying Mahomes is not him. He's him, bro. He's him. But all right,
Mahomes took Juju Smith-Schuster and got him talking trash to James Bradbury, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and AJ Brown.
Somebody that damn near was almost out the league, but nobody that pretty much was almost out the league. Like nobody was trying to sign that cat. And Mahomes pretty much blessed him. Took him to a championship. Literally.
Yeah, and people don't talk about what Pat Mahomes lost. Like we talked about it, I think last week or week. Well, I might have talked about it on my Mock Draft Monday. But bro, he lost Tyreek. He lost he lost some weapon. Like he lost a huge weapon. He lost
his weapon.
His weapon.
Now he still has Travis Kelce.
Still have Kelce.
But
sure.
but the thing is, I think a lot of people assume after he lost Tyreek Hill that they're gonna just double Kelce now. And Kelce was out here doing what Greg Olsen used to do with Cams, finding ways to get open.
Bro, I was watching that game saying the same thing. I'm like, how is this man getting open? I used to say the same thing about Olsen. Like, how is this guy, of all people, the ball's going to him. How is he so wide open? I used to say the same thing about Greg Olsen, bro. Same things. But yeah, man, shout out to the Chiefs. And shout out to
Kadarius Toney, Mahomes. That trade that they pulled off with the Giants. Broke that Super Bowl record.
Let me go ahead and eat some crow. Because I came up here and I said, I talked about Hecker and the punter and all that stuff. However, I gotta eat crow because that line drive punt was the reason why Tony that BS punt by their punter cost them, because it was a line drive punt directly to Tony, which gave him the room to set up his. And Tony did his thing. Credit to Tony. But the line drive punt is what set that up. So shout out to all the punters in the world. My bad, y'all. Shout out to all the punters, man. Shout out to Hecker and the
Yeah, man.
punters.
You gave Hecker a lot of hell, man.
I did. Shout out to Hecker, man.
That shit matters, bro.
Shout out to Hecker. But
That
all right, anything
that
else?
was a Super Bowl record. Nah,
Anything
man.
else
It was a phenomenal game. That was a phenomenal game. That was a
great game.
And we were debating like top Super Bowls, and that's up there, man. That's up there. That was a phenomenal Super Bowl. Phenomenal Super Bowl. Phenomenal.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about these coaches, bro. Let's talk about these coaches because last week we've hired a lot of coaches since the last show. So we're gonna go quickly, not so quickly. But we're gonna go through these guys real quick and talk about all these guys that we have just hired. All right, so the first one we got on the board is Peter Hansen. Peter Hansen he's now our linebackers coach. He came from the system with Evero. Was with the Broncos as well. He's 43 years old, and now he's back together with Evero here in the Carolina Panthers. He has 4 years NFL coaching experience, 1 year as a position coach in the league, and obviously he joined Evero's staff in 2022. He helped, contribute to the 7th ranked defense in the league last year. He has a past with Fangio, so he goes back with Fangio and Harbaugh. Actually used to break down film for the 49ers back in the day. So shout out to Hansen, man. Then he goes back to college. He's 6'8", two-sport athlete, played basketball. But shout out to this guy, man. Linebackers coach, starting to put together that staff. Dave, any thoughts on Peter Hansen?
I'm cool with it. I mean, I like it. I mean, you knew Evero was going to bring some of his guys with him, so I love the pickup. Whenever you can get somebody from a top 10 defense, I'm never going to hate. I'm never, ever going to hate. Considering what we lost and things of that sort, I can't hate on that, man. But it continues the run of what we're going to do when it comes to if we're going to make that transformation to a 3-4. It looks like we're probably going to lean towards that way. I'm interested to see if we're going to try to transition it or if we're going to go straight full measure and just try to make a conversion to 3-4 going into the first season under Frank Wright. So
I think that's a good segue into the next guy, Dave. Dom Capers. So we kind of hinted to this last.
Born. Some of y'all weren't born when that man was our coach.
Yeah, we kind of hinted to this being a possibility before on the last show, but now it's true. Dom Capers has been hired, and he's going to be a defensive assistant. 72 years old, Dave. 72 years old. Obviously goes back with Evero. Evero was on the Capers was on Evero's staff as a defensive consultant last year with the Broncos. So yeah, man, he's been around. He's also been with Reich. He also coached Reich. So going back to the Carolina Panthers in 1995.
Wow. Man.
Yeah, so it's crazy. He's got over 3 decades of NFL coaching experience, bro. A lot of jobs. He's got as a Super Bowl winning coordinator. So he has a ring. I saw somebody in the chat talking about it. How many guys on our staff has a ring? Of course, he has one. When he helped the Packers get that ring in 2010, I believe. And then obviously the first Panthers head coach. He's got a nice little tree because Vic Fangio comes from his tree actually, which is something interesting to keep an eye on. He's got mad Pro Bowlers. He's got 28 players who have reached the Pro Bowl a total of 46 times, bro. He's got a lot of Pro Bowl experienced guys. So, Dave, what's your thoughts on this, man? How critical do you think this hire is?
All I'm gonna say is this, bro. Let's just go ahead and get John Fox out in the paint and just be done with it, bro. Let's just get some more head coaches up in the paint, bro. Let's just go ahead and get another former Panthers head coach in the paint. Fox would probably love to come back here, bro. Let's just go ahead and get Fox back in the paint, man. I love it. You know, with all the nostalgia with Frank Wright coming back as the head coach, getting the OG head coach back, I can't complain about this one bit. I love it.
Yeah, and you were talking about
and the other thing that I've noticed, and then 3-4 specialists as well. You know what I'm saying? And I love it because Tepper is out here like, yo. And we're going to keep discussing this as we keep naming these coaches. But Tepper's like, there ain't no salary cap with these coaches, yo.
Dropping the bag. He taking that Rock Hill money and moving over to these coaches, bro.
Yo, he
that
about to take. He's like, all this Rock Hill money I saved up. We about to go ahead and throw this up to these coaches, and it's gonna get better.
Yes,
it's gonna get better.
He ain't done.
He ain't done.
All right, so that's Capers again. Dave talked about the 3-4. I mean, this is what Capers does. He's a 3-4 guy. So keep an eye on us transitioning over to that. He also mentioned, although he is a 3-4 guy, he does like to dictate that on personnel, right? He's not going to do it for the sake of doing it. If the personnel matches, it'll obviously work. And so we'll see we'll know quickly by the free agency moves who and what kind of scheme we're going to plan to deploy. If we start to bring in these outside linebacker types and some strong a nose tackle, and you'll start to see it transition real quick. So shout out to Dom Capers, man. Anything else with Dom Capers?
My God, Dom, man. Love it. I'm loving this,
man.
Hey,
real talk. I was thinking about this earlier, Dave. I'm like, yo, all these damn coaches, I might trying to get more autographs from coaches than damn players this year, bro. At training camp.
You ain't kidding, man. I might have to go buy. I might need to, and I'm gonna try to plan a flight. I'm gonna try to get down to training camp this year. I gotta try to get down.
Pause.
I gotta get down there this year. Cause I can't. I gotta try to get down there this year. I'm gonna try to pick a week and try to get down there. I gotta figure it out.
All right, let's move on. Next coach, Dave. Josh McCown, bro. This one kind of caught me off guard. Josh McCown was hired as our quarterbacks coach. And obviously folks were interested in him in the past, right? The Eagles actually tried to hire him as a quarterbacks coach during 2019 season, but he decided to go back and play instead of coaching. And then he went to the Texans to serve as a backup. And then the Texans, he actually interviewed for the Texans 2021. And he didn't get the job, but he was darn near in the running before they hired.
He interviewed for the Texans. They interviewed. No, didn't they? Was it 2021 or 2022?
2021. 2021 and 2022. Both of them. Both. He interviewed both years before they went with Culley and Smith. Respectively.
I thought 2022 was the year when the lawsuit for Flores, right? Because I thought they were leaning towards McCown, and then the lawsuit happened, and they went with Lovey, if I remember correctly. Did I get my timeline right? Something like that. But either way,
2022 was Lovey, and 2021 was Culley when they went with Culley. But he interviewed both times. For the job. Obviously, man, this dude's been in the league forever, right? He's got 17-year playing career as a backup. He's played with Detroit, Oakland, Carolina, Miami, San Francisco, Chicago, Tampa, Cleveland, Jets, Philly, Houston. He's played with a lot of places, bro. Obviously spent 2 years. Yeah, I said it. I don't see him on this list. That don't mean that's not true. I just don't see him on this list.
I played with him on Madden, so that was back when we were bad, though.
So the obviously played with the Panthers 2008, 2009 under John Fox. Yep. He was Jake Delhome's backup through 2008 and 2009 again. And then he sprained his knee, blah, 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 blah. And actually spent some time with Sam Darnold, Dave. Spent some time with Sam Darnold with the Jets. They competed for the job. And then obviously he briefly spent some time with ESPN as well. Dave, we got a special connection to Josh McCown as he is a content creator on Underdog. So what's in the works right now. So you stay tuned because you never know what could happen. Keep that notification bell on.
Yet, but I'm
you never know what could happen with Josh McCown. Okay, because he does create content, because a lot of that video floating around of him breaking down C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, done on the Underdog Fantasy Network. So you know what that means. Dave. We're gonna see what we can do. But shout out to Josh McCown.
Not making promises.
Shout out to Josh. No, we can't. We ain't making no promises at all. We can't make promises. But we gonna make a call. We're gonna make a call. See what happens.
We are gonna make a call.
So anything else with Josh McCown, man? I like this hire for quarterback coach. The guy's seen everything, bro. He's been on mad teams for quarterback coach. Sometimes he can coach better than he can play, and so hopefully that's the case with Josh McCown. No disrespect, Josh, but I hope that's the case.
Look, man, Josh McCown. Look, man, I beat a New England Patriots fan on Madden 63-0 with Josh McCown as my quarterback. So I don't have an issue with Josh McCown from that standpoint. So shout out to Madden 04. So I have no issue with Mr. McCown one bit. Nah, but overall, man, I love the pickup. I mean, he's a heck of a quarterbacks coach. So I'm not worried about it from that standpoint. He knows how to scout quarterbacks. I think it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen when we start talking about draft versus free agency. And I know we're going to have a discussion about that because I got questions for you, sir. But we'll get to that when we get to the coaches because we're gonna get to that. So let's keep it moving. But I love this pickup. I love the coaches that we've been picking up throughout this cycle, man. I love the fact that fam, listen.
We're not done yet. We're not done yet, Dave.
No. I gotta take responsibility. Nah. There's only two ways I play. I play humanoids and all Madden, but I'm retired. I'm retired from Madden. Until they get competition, I'm not playing Madden ever again. I stopped. The last Madden I paid for was Madden 05. That's the last one I paid for. I used to go to Walmart, win the tournament, get it for free. And I did that for like 6 years after I started my strike. I haven't paid for a Madden ever since. All right, keep it moving.
All right, real quick, I want to hit the pause. We got like 500 people watching, so I just want to say this while we got 500 plus people watching. Hit the like button and hit that subscribe button because we almost to 20,000 subscribers. So do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We trying to get to 20,000 before the draft. So I just want to say that while we got 500 plus people in here. All right, let's keep it moving. Dave, we officially announced what Duce Staley's role would be because we had talked about us coming to terms a long time ago. But they never knew what his role was going to be. It is officially announced that Duce Staley will be the running backs coach and assistant head coach. I believe that's the same thing he did with the Lions. But obviously, his mother is sick and he's from the area. It's from, I believe, somewhere in South Carolina. And so his mother's sick and wants to be closer to home. So that's got a lot to do with why he took the lateral move. But obviously, he has connections to Reich as well because they did work together. They were part of the coaching staff for the Super Bowl title in 2017 with Philly. Also, again, I talked about Duce Staley he's from Columbia, actually, to be specific.
The Met.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So shout out. I love this. We already talked about Duce and Link, but I love it, and I'm glad that he is now serving as running backs coach because what better got to serve as a running backs coach than Duce Staley. And then if you watch some of the clips that are floating around with Duce and his coaching, he's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of energy, bro. I'm gonna love watching him on the sideline and during training camp because he got the juice. Pause. And assistant head coach, great man. He's one step closer. We talk about these minority hires, bro. Like he's gonna be one step closer to getting a head coaching job, which could in turn lead to us getting some draft compensation. But love this hire.
Right? Stability is important, right? These guys got to stay there for 2 years before we can start getting the draft compensation. So, I mean, from that standpoint, this is a good news story. I mean, but I think he's a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a running backs coach. He was a pretty damn good running back for the Eagles too. Like I don't think people remember how good of a running back he was when he played for the Eagles. Yeah, he was a really good running back for the Eagles. He was there when McNabb was there, so he was a hell of a running back for the Eagles at the time. So shout out to Duce Staley. So he's a hell of a coach, like you said, he's from my hometown, from Columbia. So, really good pickup for us. And yeah, man,
and he's a cock.
I haven't played.
Dave loves the cocks.
He did go to USC. He did go to USC. I did not go to USC. And
one time for Duce, Dave. Go ahead and say it. One time for Duce,
Nah. But I will say this, Tyler.
Come on, man.
I haven't played Madden seriously in over a decade. So C3 those guys should be able to beat my ass. If I hop on the sticks right now and beat them in Madden, y'all should not watch any more simulations of Madden. Because I haven't taken Madden seriously in over a decade. All right. I love this pickup, and I'm not doing it. Let's just keep it moving.
All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so and then the hire of the day. The hire of the day. Did not see this coming. I did not see this coming.
I kind of
Uh,
did, and I'll explain.
I didn't
I'll
see it. I
explain
didn't see
why.
it coming. But
My
Jim Caldwell
HBCU my
hired.
HBCU work kind of assisted in this because there's a reason why I had Vincent Brown as my number one pick for the A&T coach over Jim Caldwell because Jim Caldwell interviewed with A&T as the head coach as well. He had the itch to come back into the league. He wanted to have an opportunity to be a head coach, and it got to a point where he wasn't really getting too many opportunities to interview as a head coach, but he was telling teams that he wasn't going to interview unless it was for a head coaching opportunity. And he did interview for Carolina for a head coaching opportunity. But he lives in North Carolina. He lives in the Triad. He lives not too far from Greensboro. So for him, I figured that if he was going to take an assistant coaching job or like a senior consultant job, it was going to be with us. He wasn't going to go anywhere else.
Yeah,
And there's only
and
one.
with Tepper dropping the bag, of course he's gonna take the
And when
job.
there's only one owner I know that's willing to drop a bag that he's willing to stick around for without a head coaching opportunity, and that would be the Panthers with David Tepper, because David Tepper is dropping his bag, and there's no solid.
Real quick, T Sweeney says Frank Reich out here yelling "Avengers Assemble" with this coaching staff. I agree, man. Just appreciate the super chat.
Absolutely,
bro. It's crazy. This coaching staff is nuts.
Love
but real quick, couple things on Caldwell. He's going to be a senior assistant, which is no surprise at all. 68 years old, yep. 18 years of NFL coaching experience between the Colts and the Lions. He interviewed for the head coaching job. Obviously, they went with Reich. Super Bowl rings. He got a couple of them things. 2006 with the Colts, and then 2012 with the Ravens as the offensive coordinator. He's got a connection with Reich. People forget that too. They kind of get lost in the sauce with the Caldwell hire. There is a connection to Reich. Caldwell connected with Reich in 2006 when his coaching career started as an intern under Dungy. And then Caldwell was working as an assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach when Caldwell succeeded Tony Dungy the following in his retirement. Reich moved up to quarterbacks coach, and then they coached together through 2011. So there is some a connection there. All right.
Yeah, there's the connection, but there's also the fact that he's local in the area too. Like he lives there, bro. Like I don't think he had any interest in moving outside of the area unless he had the opportunity to be a head coach. So if he was going to come back for anything other than a head coaching job, it was going to be locally in the area. So if he was going to go somewhere without a head coaching job, it was going to be Carolina. And the fact that Carolina was like one of the only spots that gave him a head coaching opportunity to interview. So I thought that was going to be pretty damn good. Pretty good chance that we had a chance to get him on the staff. It was just a matter of where they're going to put him. I didn't think OC was going to be realistic. I don't think he was going to have that type of grind. But it's going to be interesting to see, man. Because he had the itch to coach. Like, he interviewed for the A&T head coaching job and things of that sort. But I had the fear that the NFL would just come calling at some point because he was still doing some consultant work for other teams on the side. So, because the other teams were always calling him, but he just wasn't going to be traveling like that and things of that sort. So,
shout out to Jim Caldwell, man. Glad to get him on the staff. I don't know why that's there, but here's the latest hire. Obviously, you guys were talking about it, but it's a shout out to our old friend Jordan Ardrick, who used to be a beat writer here for the Charlotte Observer, now over in LA. But she posted that Carolina intends to bring in former Rams DB coach Jonathan Cooley, obviously as a DB coach. And that's another young guy. I think Staley and I think him, Evero were both DB coaches under Staley. So that's an interesting connection there. Really good. I think this kid is really young too. I think let me check his age because I didn't get a chance. This just happened, so I didn't get a chance to break everything down. But this kid is I think this is a solid hire. Again, you're starting to connect those dots, bringing guys that we're familiar with the system that they plan to deploy. I think the DBs are going to take a big jump under not just him, but under Evero as well. This is going to be great. Let me see if I can.
I'm hearing rumblings that we're going to bring in somebody. We're going to bring in somebody to coach. One of the coaches is going to coach just the safeties, and the other's going to coach the corners, which is good too.
I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad
I
at that
saw
at
a
all.
tweet, but I don't have it in front of me, so I don't want to misread anything. But that's what I've been hearing. They're gonna have a CB coach and they're gonna have a safety coach, which is freaking outstanding. Like it's like Tepper learned from his mistakes, which is freaking great. It's great.
Nah, y'all didn't think that was possible. Y'all didn't think that was possible.
Nah, look.
Nah, you didn't think it was possible.
Look, bro. Look. I have look. That man goes.
All you said, I'm about to pod on you, Dave. All you said, all offseason was, you trust this guy hired another coach. You trust this guy. You trust the same guy. That's what you said, Dave. That's what you were saying.
You're right. You're right. You are correct. You are absolutely correct. And do you understand the paranoia I have? Do you know what the hell I had to sit through? Do you know what I suffered through for the past couple of years? Do you understand the torture, the pain, the agony that I had to sit through? Do you understand what I just went through? I'm just happy that Jim Irsay was on drugs. And by the way, did you see what Jim Irsay did? He pretty much laid his cards out on the floor earlier today. Did you see that shit?
Capping. That's cap.
No, he's not.
It's cap.
No,
he's positioning, bro. That's cap, bro.
Nah.
It's cap.
Nah.
It's that.
Not with the coach they hired.
He's bluffing. He's bluffing.
Now with the coach they hired. You think they're gonna go into the season with Matt Ryan?
No, they want another guy. They want another guy. They're trying to get everybody to go Bryce Young so that he goes out and they pick CJ Stroud. That's what he's bluffing, bro. And you eating it up. You eating it up like a mother too.
Either way, so what about us? Are we done with all the coaches?
Which is why I want to move up to one.
So let's have a discussion about this. I got a question for you.
Hold it, Dave. Hold it till we get to later. Hold it till later. We got time for that. Hold that till later.
Well,
we're gonna get to it.
All right. Okay.
We'll get to it real quick. This is the coaching staff as it is right now. Today it's Valentine's Day. It's 8:39 p.m. We can hire another coach at 9 p.m. It's not going to be on this. Okay, so if you catch this replay, this is as it stands right now. So obviously you got Frank Reich, head coach, assistant head coach Duce Staley, senior assistant Jim Caldwell. Still looking for an offensive coordinator. We're going to talk about two offensive coordinator guys after this. Josh McCown, quarterbacks coach, Campen. And so with Campen and Tabor, I don't see them on the website just yet. So we might need to pump the brakes a little bit. Because I although it's been reported that they
what had happened was the website, they deleted everything when Frank Reich came in. They forgot to add him back in and
maybe they ain't got the money right. Maybe they ain't got the money right.
He ain't got the money right. Yo, David Tepper doesn't have the money right. Okay.
I'm saying with them, maybe they haven't agreed to the money. That's what I'm saying. Because it's not official that Tabor and Campen.
So Rashad, you think they asked for a raise?
Of course.
You think after losing their head coach, they asked for a raise?
Of course they did.
To stay?
You got to pay to play. Yeah, of course.
Well, Campen absolutely can pay to play. And Tabor has done
too.
Pretty well, too.
Both of them.
Tabor has done it pretty damn well, too, yeah. You got to keep Campen. Like, Campen's got more leverage than anybody. That offensive line was outstanding last season. Keep it a buck. Like, that offensive line was last season.
But so we're still looking for wide receivers coach, tight ends coach. So that's the offense. And then defensively, we got a defensive coordinator in Evero, and our linebackers coach in Hanson. But we're still looking for some. And DB coach in Cooley.
Rashad,
we're still looking for a D-line coach. What's up?
I want to let you know something, bro. You ready?
What's up?
We don't need a tight end coach. You want to know why we don't need a tight end coach?
Why is that?
We ain't been using them.
We about to, man. Now we about to use them, bro.
we ain't been. That ain't a priority on the list. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it is a priority. You saw what happened in the Super Bowl. You saw what happened in the Super Bowl. We need to make it a priority.
Everybody ain't got Travis Kelce and Dallas
Goedert. Goddard. Hey, listen. They got it.
Goddard is always in my top. Yo, Goddard is always in my list for tight ends. So everybody ain't got Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the league. I think everybody knows that though. Kelce's gonna be out here breaking some records. when it's all said and done. He gonna be
shout out to Noli. Shout out to Noli says Reich is going to have separate coaches for cornerbacks and safeties. Yes, I've heard that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I haven't separated it yet, but I'll separate it. Yeah, I haven't separated, but we'll separate it out. But shout out to
well, he didn't know, so
shout out to the coaching staff. Again, we're not done yet. And listen, we got to talk about these two offensive coordinators. Let's break down these offensive coordinators real quick. The two that are on the table, and I might have a change of heart, bro. As I was putting this together, I was rocking with one guy, but I might need to flip on to the other guy. Let's go and talk about it, Dave. Jim Bob Cooter is the first guy, okay? 38 years old, is current pass game coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can see his resume right there. You can see his resume. Mm-hmm. One thing on his resume, Dave, though, a lot of these guys right here, one thing with them, they got Super Bowl experience. I believe most of the guys, the vast majority of these guys have rings. Wright got a ring. Duce Staley got a ring. Caldwell got multiple rings. McCown, does he have a ring? I think he does. Does Josh McCown have a ring? I'm not sure. Duce Staley, again, has a ring. Capers got rings. Evero got rings. So a lot of these guys got rings. One thing that's missing from Cooter, no rings. But he's got a lot of experience. Okay? He's been an offensive coordinator before with the Lions. He's got offensive coordinator experience with the Lions. So and I don't know if he overlapped with Caldwell at all. I don't think so. I didn't double check
Mr.
that.
McCown.
No rings for McCown. My bad. No rings for McCown.
Because when did the Eagles win the Super Bowl? What year?
2017.
Yeah. No rings for McCown. It's okay though. Everybody can't have rings. Jim Bob Cooter. Nah, he's a good. He's got the Frank Reich connection. I'll give you that.
Got the connection with Caldwell too.
And Caldwell, absolutely, because he did it with Detroit, if I remember correctly. Correct. Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator in Detroit, if I remember correctly. Yep.
But he got fired.
When did the Coach Alliance?
But he got fired.
Did get fired while Caldwell was there. Yep. He did get fired while Caldwell was there. I'm pretty sure they're over that. There's probably some different type of pressure there in Detroit too. So, over the last 30 years, most successful run that Detroit's had was during the Caldwell era. Jim Bob Cooter was part of that. So, let's keep it above.
Yeah, he had some pretty solid offenses.
He did. Absolutely. He helped make Matt Stafford look pretty damn good. Because I don't think people remember Stafford was struggling before Caldwell showed up, and Jim Bob Cooter. So
8-8 in 2017. No, that was expected. Sorry. Not 9-7. Excuse me. 9-7, 2017.
Yeah.
Then they went 2016. They were 9-7 again, and then 7-9, 2015. So they were together for a little second. The 11-5 year, Cooter was not the offensive coordinator. Oh yeah, he was. He was assistant though. He's a quarterbacks coach. So he was a quarterbacks coach on the 11-5 year, and then Jim Schwartz was the year before that. So 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, because Cooter, Jim Bob Cooter was there with Patricia. So Cooter did not get fired when Caldwell got let go. Jim Bob Cooter was there with Patricia.
With Patricia. Yeah, and they let Patricia there. They kept Cooter there. They just wanted.
They kept
because
Cooter.
They said, what was it? 9-7 wasn't enough. Wasn't that was a quote when Detroit when they fired Caldwell? 9-7.
Yeah, but then they went 6-10 the next year.
Yep, and they haven't hit 9-7 since this year. This is the first season they went above 9-7. I think, right? Didn't Detroit go above 9-7 this year?
I think they did, right? Yeah. I think
or they were
so.
9-8 or something like that. What was the Lions' record?
Let me check. I'm trying to find. Yeah, 9-8. 9-8 was it?
That ain't better than 9-7. That's hilarious. Okay, technically.
Technically.
Percentage wise,
All
I don't
right,
think it is.
next guy, we got Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown, 36-year-old, current assistant head coach for the LA Rams. Also, tight ends coach. So this is where you could get in, not needing a tight ends coach. He's got experience at tight ends, experience at running backs coach. He does have a Super Bowl ring under McVay with the Rams. Not a lot of experience. Doesn't have any experience calling plays. With our offensive coordinator position, I'm not really concerned about a guy having a play calling experience. It doesn't really matter to me because I think Reich is going to be doing that anyway, depending on who the guy is. Cooter obviously has experience there, so maybe he may say, all right, you can call the plays. But Thomas Brown does not have the experience. Maybe he lets him coach the tight ends, and while, Reich, and he can be offensive coordinator on paper, but Reich call the plays. But here's Thomas Brown. So, Dave, what's your thoughts on Thomas Brown, man?
Here's my thing, and by the way, just to clear this up, I just did the math. 9-7 is better than 9-8. All right, so just to be clear, if Reich is calling, if the plan is for Reich to call the plays, Thomas Brown is the hire. If the plan is for Reich to not call the plays, Cooter is the hire.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I agree with you. I kind of agree with that, but I don't think there's a plan. I think it's whoever they can get. The fallback plan is always that Wright can call the plays. So I don't think there's an intention. I think they're going into as open in mind as possible, saying, "All right, let's get the best guy." And if it's the best guy that we can land is Thomas Brown, then maybe Wright calls a play, which is cool. I don't see this is a win-win to me. I don't see it as a negative either way. I don't need a guy to go out there and be able to have play calling experience with my guy. My head coach is a play caller. Like I don't have a problem with that at all.
Now, if you ask me who I would probably roll with, I would roll with Thomas Brown for a couple of reasons. One, you got the tight ends coach experience. So if you don't, like I just said before, I was serious about what I said before. You ain't really got to rush to get a tight ends coach. You got somebody that can do it. He could probably double dip. He could probably do both. Particularly if he isn't calling plays. And then, the odds are slim that somebody's going to scoop him up after 1 year. Like, they're not going to come and pick up Thomas Brown. You can decide how you feel about how I said what I said. They're not going to scoop him up after 1 year. So he'll at least get a minimum of 2 years there. So from that standpoint, if they does get an opportunity to be a head coach, then we have the opportunity to get a third-round pick. So I would roll with Thomas Brown off that alone. Because I'm about trying to have that stability, which we kind of didn't talk too much when we bring up Eric Bieniemy. Because, the Eagles, both offensive and the defensive coordinator, both got head coaching jobs today. So they got to revamp their entire coaching staff from an offensive and defensive coordinator standpoint. Meanwhile, the Chiefs ain't lost nobody. Nobody got hired from their coaching staff. So they're pretty much going to be able to bring their entire coaching staff back, and now they're going to be a big-ass threat to repeat. Because they can pretty much bring everybody back again unless Andy Reid decides to retire, which is the wildest shit imaginable. So it's just hilarious to me. You're not going to go after the guys that just won the damn Super Bowl.
I think it's got to be something else with the enemy. That's crazy to me.
No, I know what it is. I mean, now there's other things because I think he had issues going on. There's outside issues too. Now
we don't need to unpack that, but yeah, we don't need to unpack that, but yeah.
But either way, I think for him it makes the most sense to go with Thomas Brown because the big thing I liked about the Frank Reich hire is the fact that I want Frank Reich to call the plays. I want him to call the plays. And I think there's going to be no doubt about it. Like you said, I agree with what you said with regards to they should go after the best guy. So if Jim Bob Cooter is the better interview, then you pick Jim Bob Cooter. Then there'll be the debate about who's going to call the plays, and they'll figure that out as they figure out going through the offseason or whatever. But I think, it'll be a conclusion that we know we'll be calling the plays if Thomas Brown got the gig. And on top of that, you can kill two birds with one stone. He could be the tight end. He can do tight ends at the same time. He can do both jobs, in my opinion, especially since he's not calling the plays. So that's just my opinion on the matter.
Yeah, I was on board with Thomas Brown first because I definitely I'm thinking about the future, right? We have a lot of minority coordinators and now assistants, right? So we're starting to play the game, right? We're starting to be able to develop guys that can then go on to get jobs, and then we get draft conversations back, which is kind of important, especially if you're talking about trading up, which I want to do, give away all the resources, right, and go get the quarterback. If that's what we want to do, then we want to make sure in a couple of years that we can, acquire some more draft capital by, developing these coaches to get jobs elsewhere to then, give us some draft capital in return. So it's a chess move. I think the Thomas Brown hire is a chess move to me more than anything, because again, if Reich is calling the plays, Thomas Brown is a pseudo offensive coordinator. Like he's offensive coordinator by title, but really it's Reich. And that happens. Like it's not a negative thing. It happens a lot of places, right? Head coach calls plays. So it happens, right? But I think with Cooter has the experience. I'm not gonna say he was the better guy. I'm not like he wasn't awesome at his job. I got to go back and look at his offenses and where they ranked, but I don't think they were like world beaters. So to me, either way, with both of these guys, I want Wright calling the plays because neither of these guys screams great OC to me. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it doesn't really matter at this point who the OC is. That's why I'm not pressed about it.
No, I'm with you there. And the thing is too, I mean, I think the beauty of it too is that you're gonna have Caldwell there, who is known as a pretty damn good OC. And now it's interesting with him being a senior assistant, he's gonna pretty much be involved with offense, defense, and special teams. Mm-hmm. But I think with the ability, like Caldwell is known as a pretty damn good offensive coordinator. Like I think people forget that Caldwell was the OC when Joe Flacco pretty much had his best season he ever had and led the Ravens to the Super Bowl. So I think this is going to be good. At a minimum, you're going to have Jim Caldwell there to mentor, but besides you're going to have Frank Wright, you're going to have Jim Caldwell to mentor either Thomas Brown or Jim Cooter, because they're both young guys. Like they're both under 40.
Yeah,
so
they're both under 40.
It's going to be good for both of them.
Yeah,
so this is going to be awesome opportunity for whoever gets this job.
East from the CAC says, "I want Black OC if he fails, Wright can call plays."
I think Wright might end up calling plays either way, like you said, bro. Like when it's all said and done, I want the best candidate ultimately. Like I'm always that advocate when it boils down to it. But like you said, man, they're strategizing. Like I think the Panthers are trying to strategize. Like Tepper wanted to let everybody know that they got one of the most diverse executive offices in the league. So he wants to let y'all know that for a reason. So I think he knows what he's trying to do with regards to that. So some of his guys get promoted to GM, they get picks for that too. Some of his guys that are within the office, they get picks for that as well. So now I think we can't do wrong with either pick.
All right, let's move on. Real quick. If you're watching this, hit that subscribe button for your boy. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the draft. So let's make that happen. Probably be a huge celebration. If so, patreon.com/PanthersNationPC if you want to become a Patreon member. I owe y'all an MVP giveaway, and I did not prepare for it, so my apologies. We'll do it next week. Dave just got to remind me. So look how deflected.
Well, the thing is, you better not ask me to remind you, because I didn't even tell you this yet. I ain't gonna be here next week. I'm gonna be down in Baltimore for the CIAA tournament.
Okay, I'll remind myself.
I'll shoot you a text
Somebody
Tuesday
remind
morning, like, yeah. So I'm
somebody remind me. But shout out to the MVPs, man. I owe y'all a MVP giveaway for sure. That's gonna happen. Shout out to the franchise folks, and shout out to the free agents, man. We appreciate y'all support each and every week, man. Really do. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Without y'all, this show wouldn't be what it is. So we greatly appreciate y'all support. And like I said, if you want to become a Patreon member, patreon.com/PanthersNationPC. Underdog Fantasy. Let's run this thing real quick.
What's going on, guys? This is Dave from PNP, and I'm here to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. I just want to remind you that's the easiest place to play. There ain't too many places where you can win 20 times your money in the same night, utilizing higher lowers in the pick'em game. And now they have pick'em insurance, where while you won't win the same amount of money that you did before, you can miss one and still bring home some money. So if you do it 3 times, you could potentially still get your money back if you end up missing one. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up today and use the code PNP when you do. And the $100 deposit match still stands. Underdog Fantasy. So just so you guys know, they're already starting to draft for best ball with the rookies before they draft. So You can go ahead and get these rookies popping off before you even know what teams they end up on. So make sure you guys sign up for Underdog Fantasy and use the code PNP when you do.
All right, Dave. It's time to get into this discussion, right? Because you've been ready to get after this. So Derek Carr, right? Talk about what we're gonna do with quarterback. What are the Panthers gonna do at the quarterback position, right? And so apparently Shefty made a post today on Twitter and says, obviously Derek Carr has been officially released from the Raiders, and he's going to get 40 point. They released him before that 40.4 million gets guaranteed today. And he's now a free agent and expected to draw interest from the Saints, Panthers, amongst others. All right. So real quick, Dakota says if we get Derek Carr, we're probably going to draft AR-15. I don't know about that. Appreciate the super chat, Dakota. All right. So Derek Carr, Dave, give me your thoughts on before we get into his career and all that stuff. Give me your thoughts on Derek Carr and the possibility of him signing with the Panthers.
Before I give you my thoughts, I want to ask you a question first. You ready?
Go ahead.
The Carolina Panthers have had 2 coaches in the franchise history that has taken us to the Super Bowl. John Fox and Ron Rivera. Which coach do you think Frank Reich is closest to from the standpoint of how you think his coaching philosophy is going to be here in Charlotte?
They're both defensive guys, so I can't. There's no.
No, but I'm just saying, like, when you talk about,
know.
like, from a standpoint of how he handled the quarterback position, which coach do you, which coach do you think?
Well, history shows us that he's closer to Fox.
Okay. So, I say that to say, and I've been trying to give these context clues on Twitter because I think everybody's been so hell bent, and I'm not trying to like burst bubbles and shit because I know what you guys
man. When you get to the point, Dave, man, what are you talking
about? No, look, let me build, damn it, let me build. I'm saying all this to say, for one, we got a long way to go before we get to the draft. But I think what we do in free agency is going to tell us a lot. The fact that Derek Carr's about to get released is going to tell us a lot. If we sign Derek Carr, guys, we ain't taking no damn quarterback in the first round. Now, if we sign somebody like a Brissett, if we sign like a bridge quarterback, then yes, we're probably going to take a guy in the first round. But if we sign somebody out here like a Derek Carr, then it's going to be a different ballgame. And I know folks want a young quarterback, so then what the hell is a young quarterback? That doesn't mean a rookie. It could just be a young guy. Could be like a guy that's been in the league 3, 4, 5 years. That's a young guy. Somebody in their 20s. Shit, Mahomes is a young guy. Thank you, man. Appreciate the super chat. Let me build, man. Let me get on my Lil Wayne today. Let the beat build. All right? Let it build. Shout out to Carter 3. So, I say all that to say that I know everybody wants, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young and Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, you know what I'm saying? But you might end up with Hendon Hooker in the second round is what I'm getting at. Because it all depends on what we do with the free agency situation. Because it all depends on what we're going to pay this quarterback that we end up grabbing. So I say all that to say, I think you have to pay, you're just chatting my ass. You need to pay attention to the coaches that we just picked up and what they've done in the past. Like a Jim Caldwell. He's fixed quarterbacks who's been in the league for a few years. He's fixed quarterbacks that's been in the league for a couple years. He's made adjustments with those guys. But at least it won't be somebody like a Sam Darnold. It'll probably be somebody like maybe a Derek Carr or, somebody else. So y'all just, I'm just.
You didn't say anything.
I said a lot.
Profound. There's nothing profound in it. That's all makes sense. I agree with you.
But no, okay.
I think trends can change, right? I think that you cannot use, in my opinion, you can't use past history to dictate what's going to happen here. Completely different scenarios. The teams are built differently. The way this team is constructed, I feel like, and with the salary cap figures and with the way the salary cap is, because that matters. So we talking about free agency, right? That matters too. That matters. Taking a look at the salary cap, that is a huge part of it. So when you talk about potentially signing Derek Carr, which personally I don't think is going to happen. I don't think we're going to sign Derek Carr. And I can listen. You Panthers fans, you have to become numb to this having our name tied to everything. Scott Fitterer told you what he was going to do. In on every deal. And he has delivered on that. We have been in literally on every single, tied to every single free agent. Every free agent, every head coach, every guy that's come out, we have been tied to it. I am numb to it. Sometimes you got to just, okay, you see the Panthers on this list. Of course, we're reaching out for due diligence. But I don't think it's really going to happen. I don't think we're going to sign Derek Carr. I don't think that it matters. I don't think it works with the salary cap. I think we have other guys we need to put that money to, like a Bozeman, right? Like a Ioannidis potentially. You gotta extend Brian Burns. There's a lot that has to happen with this roster, and for us to shell out, because Derek Carr not coming for the cheap, bro. Let me be clear. It's not going to be. And Over the Cap put out an article about this. It ain't gonna be cheap.
How much you think Derek Carr is going to demand?
20 plus.
You don't think
you willing to pay him that?
I'm not willing to pay Derek Carr shit.
Because guess what, Dave? You said they ain't the salary cap for coaches. Then his damn sure one for quarterbacks.
No. I get that, but the better question is, we just paid fifth-year options for Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, bro.
Which is exactly why we won't do it here. That's exactly why we're not doing it.
But we just dropped $38 million on Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. And if you tell him that Derek Carr is going to be in the 20s, I think Derek Carr is not out of the question if it's in the 20s. I thought you were going to tell me 30s. If it's in the low 20s, 25?
25.
That ain't impossible for us.
Kudos to you, Derek. Hey, listen, I think you're talented, bro, and I think you're better than Sam Darnold. You're better. You would be the best.
You are better than Sam Darnold. I will give you.
You are a talented quarterback. I give you your props, bro. I'm not going.
The fact that he's only asking for 6 years. The fact that he's only asking for $6 million more than what we paid Sam Darnold last year is hilarious to me. By the way, just so you know, that man's only asking for $6 million more than what we paid for Sam Darnold last year, and Baker Mayfield.
So just
if it's like in the 20s.
Just for some context, here you go. So here's Derek Carr's numbers, right? This is his numbers. Obviously last year didn't perform that great. I'll let him slide on that. I'm not gonna kill him for that. But he's been decent. He's been a solid quarterback. I mean, you go back to that. 2021, he was a monster. He was a monster in 2021. Graded out good in 2020. That was 2016 was his best year overall. So he's a decent quarterback. But bro, I'm not. It has to fit into the puzzle, right? His piece does not fit into the puzzle when you look at the grand scheme. We're gonna call and we're going to see about Derek Carr. We're gonna do our due diligence because we do it on everybody. But that does not mean that we're gonna go out there and sign Derek Carr. Just my opinion.
I didn't say it's a done deal. Let me be clear. I'm just saying we need to not act like this shit can't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
it can.
Oh no, I think the fan base, based on what the responses I got on Twitter today, it sounded like the fan base is like on this, there's no way in hell we'll sign Derek Carr type of steez. And I'm like, bro, depending on what the number that he's asking for, I don't think he believes he's worth $40 million. That's why the Raiders did what they did today. Because he ain't worth $40 million. You know what I'm saying? But if he's out here asking for 20, 22, that's within the range.
It don't fit with what we got going on. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't fit within our puzzle piece with what we have to do. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think we've got.
And by the way, bro, I didn't realize Derek Carr's been in the league for 9 years. Yeah, I'm looking at this shit and I'm counting these years. I'm looking at the years and I'm like, he's been in the league for 9 years. So that means he's in his 30s, right?
Correct. 31 years old. Approaching 32 quickly. Turns 32 in
Yeah.
March.
So he could legitimately be that bridge if you're willing to pay that. If you're trying to take like a developmental QB. But I don't. But the way he acted at the end of the Raiders run, I don't know if he wants to do something like that.
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
No, I'm with you.
Here's the article. Basically, this is Spot Track's projections, and I did the $25 million per year based on the guaranteed money because that's really what matters. It's not the total contract; it's the guaranteed money. So if you add the 110, the total contract, it averages out to more than 25 million. But I counted just the guaranteed money. But yeah, so that's what he's going to be looking at according to Spot Track. So
if I would, based on the teams that are mentioned up here, Jets, Panthers, Saints, Commanders, Bucks, out of the 5 teams that are mentioned up here, which team do you think is the best option for him?
If I was him, I would go to the Commanders or Jets.
You're bugging.
Jets is probably the best situation.
You're bugging.
Who you think is better?
Us.
Who's better?
Us.
No. Okay.
No. Take the fan hat off. No. Take the fan hat off. I'm going to explain to you why it's us. Like, just take the fan off for 30 seconds. I'm going to explain to you why it's us. Easiest division.
No, I agree
Easiest
there.
division.
I agree.
Easiest division. Easiest path to the playoffs. Outstanding defense. Offensive coordinator. Offensive staff that's known to improve QBR. Jim Caldwell is known for that shit. He's known for it. That's what he does.
So with that said, Dave, with all that you're saying, why not? And I'm going to shift the conversation away from Jared Goff for just a second. With all that said, bro, why not get them a rookie quarterback to develop and mold from the jump? If you got all these developmental guys and all these guys that can put these guys in the best position to succeed, why not go out and get a rookie quarterback and say, here, and get them from the jump and say, here, you got a blank piece of clay right there and mold them.
Because then I'm going to go back to the question I initially asked when we started the Derek Carr conversation.
You asked me a question. No.
I did ask you a question. I asked you, we had 2 Super Bowl head coaches in this franchise's history. We had John Fox and we had Ron Rivera. From a quarterback standpoint, which one does Frank Reich compare you to? And what was your answer?
That's a terrible question.
No.
That is a terrible.
What was your stop?
I see what you're trying to set up, but that
No, it's not.
Irrelevant.
It's not. And I'm going to tell you why it's not.
It's completely
It's not irrelevant. No, it's not irrelevant. And I'm going to tell you why it's not. I'm going to tell you why it's not. Because John Fox came in here. He went with a veteran guy. He went with a guy that had experience in this league until he got somebody that got him to the Super Bowl. He built that defense up and he got somebody to a Super Bowl. Ron Rivera, and they both inherited terrible, from a record standpoint, they both inherited terrible teams. They both did. One inherited a one. Wait, stop.
This isn't a terrible team, though.
No, but let me finish. Both inherited one.
That matters,
one. No, it matters. Let me finish. One inherited a 1-15 team. Another inherited Another inherited a 2-14 team. All right, they both inherited terrible teams. One went with a rookie QB. One went with a veteran QB. Both got to the Super Bowl. Both got there. Both of them got there. Frank Reich historically hasn't really drafted a guy. He has
the opportunity to. Asterisk.
He did. Huh?
Asterisk.
He had the opportunity to. What did he do?
Asterisk.
But what did he do?
Nope.
But what did he do?
I think that's a if you
but
talk
what did
to,
he do?
If you talk to the Colts guys, that ownership and the management had a lot to do with that decision. It's not about all him. So if you I think what you're trying to parallel, I think you dug real deep for that, Dave. I think it's a little off base.
But I'm just saying, no, but my point isn't not saying that we might not draft a quarterback. Well, my point is, right now, when you talk about Frank Reich, he could still take a quarterback in the first round. Let me be clear. But I'm just trying to just I don't want the fan base to think that it's not like implausible that we don't pick up Derek Carr. Like I think folks are like in this denial stage that there's no way in hell we'll pick up Derek Carr. When I'm like, bro, Frank Reich was out here. Like Frank Reich has been taking these quarterbacks. Like he never had like a rookie guy, and I think the expectation is going to be different for him too. Like we had this discussion point about what the expectation is for Frank. He ain't going to have the same type of expectation as what John Fox had, as what Ron Rivera had. It's going to be a little bit different. Like this team was a game away from making the postseason, bro. Like I think folks keep forgetting that part. Like we just had this discussion literally 2 weeks ago about what the expectation is for this franchise going into this upcoming season. The expectation is to win this division. So I think you guys keep forgetting that piece. You can't throw out the option of that not happening.
I do agree that there is a possibility that it could happen. Absolutely. Okay. Anything could happen. I agree with you.
Y'all keep throwing these caps. But when draft time rolls around, I'll be out here telling you guys what the hell we about to do, and y'all be looking at me like I'm crazy.
Real quick, shout out to Nate. He says, I think Caldwell and Wright could do wonders for Corral. Corral's lost in the sauce, bro. I hear you, but he lost in the sauce.
Bro, he's lost in the sauce.
Let me say this, bro. Let me say this. I think that, you got to listen to the context clues. Everything is leading towards us drafting a quarterback. Whether we stay at 9, whether we move up, whatever the case may be, bro, listen to what Scott Fitterer's saying. Listen to what everybody's saying, bro. And I think all signs point to us drafting a quarterback. You got these unbelievable staff that, like Dave's saying, they do a great job with developing quarterbacks. Bro, I think now is the time. I think you're going to see it happen. Just like what Rivera did when he got here, albeit it was 1 overall. I think you're going to see us take a quarterback, bro. It's time. We just retreaded 4 or 5 different quarterbacks under Tepper. You don't think he's tired of that shit?
But, bro, we retreaded all these damn quarterbacks with a bum-ass coaching staff. We had these freaking bums for head coaches. We have some incompetent-ass coaches trying to retread these bums. That's my point. We out here retreading. Y'all call these guys bums, retreading them with these coaching-ass bums. We got these freaking incompetent-ass coaches. We just hired coaches that had no business being head coaches. Like, that's my point. Like, we out here saying, well, we already been through that. Dog, Matt Rule probably couldn't coach Tom Brady. Tom Brady probably would have been a bum with this coach. That's my point. That's my point. Like, we out here trying to make these comparisons. We can't.
I ain't gonna hate there.
No, we can't. Look, Matt Rule ain't Frank Reich. I didn't ask about a comparison with Matt Rule to John Fox and Ron Rivera for a reason. I didn't do that. I erased that shit because that ain't worth a discussion. That's not a discussion point because he was a bum. He wasn't a head coach in the NFL. He was a dot, a waste of my time, a waste of my space. Dog, two and a half years that I can't get back. That's what he was. He was like the Brooklyn Brawler for 40 weeks of my life. I had to show up here on Sunday to see this shit.
That's terrible.
That dude was No, I got to find a worse one. Wait, what was another jobber that barely won matches? Because even his ass won the tag title with Stone Cold. Maybe that was that one win against the Saints before his ass got fired in the final season. That was his shit. That was his one win. Like, that was it. That was the one. That was it. So, like, that's my thing. Like, I can't do that to Frank Reich. That's not fair to him. Like, that's not fair to him. Wilkes showed up. Rule got fired. Wilkes showed up and won more games than that man didn't win. And that man had full seasons. So you know that he couldn't coach. He couldn't coach. Eugene won more matches than Brooklyn Brawler. So, like, that's my point. Like, so you can't do that comparison. That's not fair to those quarterbacks. Because they didn't really have a coach to work with, is my point. He didn't have a coach. Teddy Bridgewater didn't have no coach. Sam Darnold didn't have no coach.
I'm not disagreeing there.
They didn't have no coaches. Well, let's keep it a buck. They didn't have no head coaches. DBO. Let's keep it a buck, guys.
Shout out to In the Trenches says, as a Dolphins fan, I did not see the Frank Reich hire as a good one, but he's putting together a hella good staff. And if they get Carr, look out, they're coming.
So that's
I'll go on record with this. If we do get Carr, I think Carr can take us to the playoffs. I don't think Carr getting us over the hump. No, that's
But the thing is, let's consider this too. Carr's never played with a defense that was higher than 20th. He's never played with a defense higher than 20th. No,
sure about that?
Yes.
I don't know about that one, Dave.
Go look.
I'm about to. According to what? Total defense?
Yep.
Or what metric are you looking at?
Total defense.
All right. I'll let you pod there for a minute. Now I think you capping.
If I'm wrong, I'm
looking it up. I'm looking it up. Cause I ain't gonna let you just spew out some shit like that. I
know for a fact. Look, let me tell you something right now. I know for a fact. I'll say this: the Raiders only been to Derek Carr's only been to the playoff twice, and last year's defense was pretty trash. I can tell you that right now. That defense last year was trash, garbage. Can you still hear me, man?
I can hear you. I'm good.
Okay, all right.
I'm looking.
I'm just trying to prepare you guys, man. I'm just here to prepare y'all. That's all. Like, I'm not saying we're going to sign them. I'm just trying to prepare you. And the other thing you guys got to consider, we're going to sign a quarterback in free agency. It's just a matter of who the hell it's going to be.
Yeah, we're gonna get.
Yeah, one. We're going to sign a guy. Like, I think folks got to realize that we're going to sign a guy. Like,
I'd rather go to Jacoby route.
No, and that's fine. But I want. Yeah. But my thing is, I think people need to realize that we're going to absolutely. Thank you. Wow. See, I can't compete with you. We're definitely going to sign a guy. It's just a matter of who it's going to be. We are absolutely going to sign a guy. Is it going to be Brissett or is it going to be Carr? That's going to give you the gauge of what we're going to do in the first round. That's going to be the vibes. Because if we sign Carr, we're not taking a quarterback in the first round, guys. But if we sign a Brissett, we might. That's what I'm talking about. And I think you would agree with me there. I think you'll be in denial. I think after what happened with the Darnold fiasco, I think you might agree with me this time. I'll try to tell you that once we traded for Darnold.
Say that again, my bad. My bad. I was looking up. No, say that again, my bad. I was looking up this stat. What were you saying?
No, I said that if we sign Carr, we're not taking a quarterback in the first round. But if we pick up Brissett, we will draft a quarterback in the first round. So it all depends on what we do in free agency. Like if we pick up Carr, we're not going to draft a quarterback in the first round. We still might draft a quarterback, but it might not be in the first round. Or we might decide to just wait on Corral and see if Corral develops, which is still a possible thing. So for all you Corral truthers, if y'all really want Corral, y'all should be rooting for a Carr signing. But if you guys want like the Strouds and the Stroud, Bryce Young, Levis, Richardson camps, then you kind of want to hope that we sign somebody like a Brissett.
Bro, already cost you some cap already, man. Last 2021, they were ranked 13, bro.
They were 13th?
Come on,
okay. Dave. 13th. All right. Damn. Some people thought I was right.
14.
Top 5.
14, 2021 total defense. Come on, man.
Okay, that's fine.
Come on, Dave. We got to stop with the cap, bro.
Listen. This is why I got to stay off Twitter. This is why I got to stay away from Twitter. I'll just do my Twitter spaces.
Don't trust Twitter, bro. Don't trust Twitter, bro. I'll just do my spaces with my rap album. I was going to say, because one year, that was pretty nice, bro. That was pretty nice one year. I don't know what year it was. Maybe it's 2021.
Maybe it was the real year when
they had a good...
Maybe it was their real year when they made the playoffs, because there was one year where Carr made the playoffs, and that defense was trash. Their defense was not good. Which is kind of crazy, because their real was a defensive guy. But
other than that 2021 year, that was trash.
Yeah.
But
because he's only made the playoffs twice. But nah, that's my thing though. Like, in the grand scheme of things, based on what we do, because like I said, we're gonna have to pick up a quarterback. Because there's no way in hell we're gonna leave free agency going into the draft without picking up a quarterback. We're gonna pick up somebody.
There.
We're gonna pick up somebody.
And I think Dave, what you were talking about earlier, I think you're right. I think and it's obvious, but you're right. The statement needs to be said that what what we do in free agency is definitely going to dictate what we do. If we go out and we sign a Derek Carr, we might go get a quarterback late, third, fourth round. But I would also say that if that's the case, we already got that guy on the roster, potentially in Corral. So I think you're right in that. However, if we only sign like a Jacoby Brissett, bro, like if we get a Jacoby, fam, we might be going all in for quarterback, which I'm cool with. Y'all know me because I want to get my quarterback on a rookie deal and I want to build. Now's the time to build, bro. I'm cool with bringing in a bridge to get the guy started, but we need to get. I don't want to be able just to run division for 1 year. I want to run it for the next 4 or 5 years, and we're positioned to do so. Look at with the staff that we got, everything that's in place. We're in position to run this division, right? We just have to get the quarterback, bro. And we're not a quarterback away. I don't listen to what I'm saying. I don't think we're a quarterback away. We have some other gaps, but getting that quarterback on this roster is critical right now. It's critical.
I think. But real talk, Rashad, we're a quarterback away from winning this division.
I think, yeah, I agree there. I agree.
We're a quarterback away from winning this division. Like we're not that far away from winning the division.
With the coaches that we have, we are a quarterback away from winning the division.
Dog,
I agree. Pending re-signing a couple of guys, like pending re-signing Bozeman, pending re-signing Foreman, and get some defensive pieces back. Pending all that, pending free agency going well, I do think we're a quarterback away from winning the division. I agree with you there for sure.
And that's my thing. Like people, I've done a pretty good job predicting this first round pick, man. And the biggest reason why is what we do in free agency. Because the free agency tends to give you the answers about what we're going to end up doing in the draft. It tells you a lot. It's unbelievable how much free agency tells you. You know, like when you talk about free agency and the trades that we make and the moves that we do in free agency, it tells you a lot. Like as soon as we trade for Donald, I knew then Justin Fields is out of the freaking question. Quarterback in the first round is out of the question. I know Fields didn't like it, but I'm like, that's out of the question. Sam Darnold's too freaking young. So people didn't want to see Sam Darnold start, but that was the reality of the fact. So that's just what it was.
Yeah, so just with me with Derek, man, I just think, especially if this contract is accurate, a 3-year deal, I just think that's too much, bro. If I can get a rookie on a rookie contract over the next four years plus the 5th-year option, to me that's more attractive, especially if I can get a guy that's potentially more talented than a Derek Carr. That's all I'm saying.
I got a question for you, Rashad.
Mm-hmm.
How long is Frank Reich's contract?
What was it? 4 years?
It's 4 years.
Was it 4?
It's 4 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So a 3-year contract. So that means you're gonna. You put your career on him.
Yeah, and I wouldn't do that. That's why I
wouldn't do that. But
exactly.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
But my point is, but you see, but we're not in the room. Like shout out to Hamilton, we're not in the room where it happens. So from that standpoint, if Frank Reich understands what the expectations is, he might not have time to be waiting for a rookie to figure this shit out. If the expectation is for them to get to the playoffs fast, you know what I'm saying, before he gets that extension, because Tepper has learned from his mistakes. He didn't give that man a 7-year deal. He didn't give him the whole deal, as I like to call it.
Yeah, I don't think that really matters. I think he's gonna get assessed after year 2 or year 3. Like, how are things going at that point, right? So I think he could easily get extended if things are going well, and if that rookie quarterback is on fire, that's gonna help him. Say, hey, look what I'm doing over here. You know what I mean? So, listen, I think we're in a good spot. I do like what we're doing. Play it by ear. You got to, with the way things are going, you got to be flexible. We've knocked the coaches out of the park. The coaching staff right now is elite. Clearly have the best coaching staff in NFC South. It's not even a question. And so I see a lot of people out there, oh, we got these great coaches just for us to go for 5 wins. Right, bro? This is a huge step. Having these coaches, bro. Exactly.
5 wins.
That's what I said. Having these coaches, bro. If you're not excited as a Panthers fan with these coaches, you got a problem, bro. Like you can't be helped. These coaches, it matters. Coaching matters. Coaching matters.
Dog, after watching the Super Bowl, you trying to tell me that coaching doesn't matter? And
Exactly.
And the thing is, I purposely waited to talk about this shit. The 2 touchdowns that Mahomes got.
Talk about it, because I was going there too. Talk about it, Dave.
Let me tell you something.
Coaching
in
matters.
the second half, let me tell you something, bro.
Talk about it.
They saw something.
Talk about it, Dave. It's time to
They saw something. They saw something when the Eagles played the Jags. Doug Peterson comes from the Andy Reid lineage. They saw something, and listen, this is Andy Reid and Bieniemy being petty as hell, by the way. I just want y'all to know that shit. I just want y'all to know the pettiness of Andy Reid. They saw something when the Eagles played the Jags, where it's like a fake. Oh God, I can't remember the terminology. It's like a fake when they ran the route, and they thought it was like a fake, and they saw every single time when that fake happens, the Eagles defense don't cover that guy. Mm-hmm. So the first touchdown they did it on one side. Mm-hmm. The second touchdown they did it on the other side.
No adjustments.
No adjustments. They didn't catch it. And they got TDs on both of them. Same exact scenario. Same fake jet motion. That's what it was. Thank you. I couldn't remember I couldn't remember terminology off the top of my head. This is why I'm with alcohol in the system. It's fake jet motion. So they did it twice for both TDs. They just changed the size of the field and the players.
And it's not about the players, right? Because they had the number 1 defense all year.
Number 1 defense in the league.
It's not the players, right? It's coaching. You have to X's and O's, bro. So if you sit up here and say coaching doesn't matter, you don't know what you're talking about. First of all, having these coaches on this roster on this team is a huge deal, bro. It's a big deal, bro. Especially with the experience they have. Having guys like Dom Capers, they've seen it all, bro. These guys have seen it all. So now you get these coaches. You got innovation on both sides of the football, bro. I think we are in. All we have to do, and we've done nothing but do it. It's not like I'm thinking that we're gonna fail. We've done nothing but execute since every move, just about every move we made since firing Matt Rule, I've been in agreement with. Right, so I can't. There's not one thing I think I disagree. There might be 1 or 2 things off the top of my head. I can't remember anything. But we're doing the thing, and I'm excited. And we got Fred. Just real quick, I don't know why I stopped screen sharing, but let me go back to this because there's some upcoming dates that we need to watch.
Oops. Oh no, you stopped screen sharing because we need to show.
Yeah, that was a great point.
Yeah,
that was a great point.
We need to bring that up because
it's a great point, Dave. It's a great point
because I think a lot of, and I was saying this in the Panthers creator chat because I think everybody's been so hell bent about who the quarterback's going to be, who's the quarterback, who's the guy going to be. But if it ain't a fit with this coaching staff, it doesn't matter, guys, because coaching matters. It don't matter who you got. If it ain't a fit with what the coach want to do, it doesn't matter. You can't just put Patrick Mahomes anywhere. You can't. The reason why he worked in Kansas City is because of who was there. You like let's keep it a buck. There's a reason why the Chiefs did what they did to trade up to go get him. It's not an accident. They thought he was a perfect fit for what they wanted to do. So I think folks gotta understand that. So we tend to forget about that type of stuff. That shit matters.
Real quick, we have some upcoming dates to pay attention to. February 21st, you got the franchise tag. That's when the franchise tags can start to be applied. February 28th, we have through March 6th, we have the NFL Combine. Can't wait for that. We're gonna be probably live streaming a little bit of that. We'll see, depending on how that goes. For pro days, we hitting the big ones. We hitting the big CJ Stroud pro day. We hitting all the quarterbacks, Levis, Bryce Young. We're gonna hit all those pro days. We're gonna be live streaming those whenever I can. March 13th through the 15th, free agency begins. So free agency begins. Dave, we talked about context clues and things that matter. Watch what pro days we attend. Watch what who's going. Right? If we're sending an entire contingency there, then it may be a context clue. So just pay attention. We'll point out all that on our live streams when we live stream those pro days. The free agency begins 13th through the 15th. March 15th, the trading period begins as well. off-season workouts on April 3rd, and then we have the NFL draft on April 27th, which we always have a draft party for that joint. We'll be checking that joint out live and reacting live to those picks. If you want a really funny watch, one of our best live streams was when we did not draft Justin Fields, and my reaction to us not drafting Justin Fields. It's pretty funny. Shout out to JC Horn though. Love JC Horn. All right.
And just remember who told you that we weren't gonna draft Justin Fields. So when you guys be putting them caps up on that damn chat over there, just remember that shit. I just want y'all to just go back and watch the tape. Just go back and watch the tape. My receipts are sitting there, just chilling in the cut. Just want y'all to know that. But nah, man, Pro Days is gonna tell us a lot. Pro Days are absolutely gonna tell us a lot. I don't. And somebody asked about whether or not we're gonna tag somebody. I don't think we are. I don't think there's a need to. There's nobody worth tagging, to be honest, from a positional standpoint. So we be out here. You know, I don't think there's nobody worth tagging, unless you got somebody in mind, Rashad. Who you think we should tag, bro? I don't think there's nobody we're gonna tag.
So yeah, Derek Brown. I think Derek Brown might get tagged.
Oh shit, he is a free agent, isn't he?
Oh, I thought you said no. My bad. I mean, I thought you meant my fault. I thought you meant 50 options.
Nah. Don't be scaring me like that,
tag.
bro.
My bad. Franchise tag. Probably my fault. I heard you. I'm looking at something else. My bad. I wasn't focused. Franchise tag. I think probably Bozeman, if anybody. It's got to be.
You think
Bozeman.
he's worth the tag?
Whatever. I would tag him to then try to get a long-term deal established. I can't let him walk.
Non-exclusive or not exclusive?
I can't let him walk. I can't. Whatever. I can't let.
So
him
that
walk,
means you got to put a non-exclusive. There's no way in hell.
I don't give a shit. I can't let him walk. Give me Bozeman,
bro. That's a lot of money, B.
Don't give a shit. Well, I don't want him to play on it. The goal was to extend him. Whatever it takes, bro. You can't be talking about and then the offensive line be trash. Then you're gonna be then you're gonna be more than you like, where's the blocking? I said it last time. I said it last time, but where's the pass rush? And then I'm gonna be like, yo, where's the blocking? Oh, we ain't got no blocking, bro.
Shout out to Madden for the super chat. Shout out to PNP.
Man, shout out to Make 'em Cold, man.
And yeah, by the way, guys, I know Rashad was devastated about Fields not getting drafted. But let me tell y'all guys something, man. This is accurate. Rule would have ruined that man. Matt Rule would have ruined Justin Fields. Matt Rule would have ruined that man. Y'all don't want to talk about it, but it's a fact of life.
No, I agree.
He would have ruined that man.
I agree. No, it's safe.
I gotta step out.
That's
I'll be right back.
That's true. No, we can shut it. We've already shut it down, Dave. I'm good. If you want to shut it down, this was it. This was it.
Okay.
Because I got to use the bathroom too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, listen, this we're gonna shut it down for today. For tonight, but this is a great show. They ain't want me to pod. It's all good. But
what are you talking about, man?
We're gonna be back.
Don't do that.
We'll be back next week. Hey, listen. Hopefully by next show we'll have a quarterback. A quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback.
Now, hopefully by that we'll have an offensive coordinator. My bad. Offensive coordinator. My fault.
You out here scaring everybody now.
My bad. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, all that good stuff, man. We'll holler at y'all.
So Rashad, when you going live next week?
Same time, Tuesday. 8
Tuesday
o'clock.
at 8? This is it? So let's let them know now, so we don't keep giving these messages about when we're going live.
I think this is pretty much it, folks. Tuesday, 8 o'clock. It works better for everybody's schedule. It's probably gonna be Tuesday. Tuesday's a great day.
All right. And I'm gonna be out of town next week, so I will not be here. So Shad will probably go solo. I might poke my head in, but it won't be for too long. I'll probably be drunk somewhere in Baltimore. I'll be down there for the CIAA tournament. You know, me and my daughter gonna go down there, go do some college tours. I can't believe this child's gonna be in college in 2025, which is wild. But we're gonna hit some tours up, hit the basketball tournament up. So it's gonna be some good stuff coming next week. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be fun next week. I'm gonna have a blast next week. You know, it's winter break, so we're gonna head down to Baltimore and have a blast down there. So,
all right. We're gonna holler at y'all next week, man. Peace out, y'all.
Guys.
Peace out. I didn't hit the end button yet.